On today's video, I am talking about how to use the law of attraction and the quantum field to manifest everything that you want. So make sure you stick around until the very end because I'm going to be sharing some really key tools that are going to allow you to energetically align with everything that you desire right away. Let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth. And today we are diving into law of attraction in the quantum field. And this is something that has become a huge passion of mine since early 2020 when I started doing quantum healing certifications and training and really learning about how the quantum field works and how we are infinitely connected to everything in the universe and how we can use this power and this understanding to become a magnet and to really attract and call in and align with all the things that we want. So as I'm diving into this, I want to start first by giving a quick overview for those of you who might be new to hearing the terms quantum field or quantum healing or anything like that. And it's really just related to particles and energy. And so the quantum field is the field where all possibilities exist. And so maybe you've heard before parallel realities, or you've heard about, just the fact that if we want something, we can call it in, we can align with it, or that maybe it already exists somewhere. Maybe you've seen the movie The Butterfly Effect, which was one of my favorite movies growing up, even though it was really intense and heavy. But I loved the fact that it was all about how we can shift our reality, and also how if we change one thing, it directly ripples out and changes another. And so to me, this is all just about showing how energy is connected and how therefore all of us are connected, as well as everything we want is already connected. So this is the field of energy where everything exists. Okay, so everything that you want right now, whatever you're wanting to call in, it already exists. And so this is not only going to help you mentally to understand and feel more belief in what it is you want to attract, but it's going to help you energetically as well. So think of it, we'll look at it logically first. So thinking of what you want, chances are there's someone in the world who already has it. And this is a perfect way to use them as proof, as validation, as a concept for your subconscious mind to realize that it's possible for you to attract and have that thing too. So our minds are really good at looking for limitations and looking for reasons why they can't have certain things. But if you actually spend the time and work on shifting your focus and your energy to more positive things, you'll realize that there is probably proof of what you do want as well. So if you're calling in a new income, or you're calling in a soulmate or a group of friends, you're calling in a house or just a change of lifestyle, whatever it is, that already exists, which means that it's already possible. So the possibility is there. It's simply about you aligning with it so that it becomes your possibility, your reality as well, okay? So the thing with this too, and we're going to get into this a little bit, is that energy never dies, it just changes form. Forgot to put that in there. So energy never dies, it just changes form. And a really good way to think of this is when you think of water. So water is just a whole bunch of particles that becomes a solid. Now it can just change form. It changes form from a gas to a liquid to a solid when it's frozen, right? So we can have it as mist and evaporation. We can have it as rain or snow, and then ice, right? So the solid, the liquid, the gas. And it's still the same thing. It's still the exact same particles. It's just changing form. And the same can be said about energy. So not only is the energy that makes up your body constantly changing form, constantly, but also the energy of the things that you want, or the energy of things in your life. So this is why if we want to look at law of attraction, we want to look at aligning with the form of what we want. So think of it exactly like water. I actually didn't even plan to use that as an example, but it's perfect. So think of your current reality, where you are right now, as the ice. Let's start with the really, really solid cold. So your current reality is the ice. It is a certain way. It looks a certain way. It feels a certain way. The beliefs are a certain way, right? It's very solid, very tangible. Now, the reality you're wanting to call in, or the specific things you're wanting to manifest and attract using law of attraction, maybe that looks like rain. Maybe that looks like a different form. It's a different form of the same energy. So it's all about shifting and changing your vibration, changing your frequency, so that you can align with that energy shift as well. And I hope that makes sense. As I said, that literally just came to me now about the water, so maybe it doesn't make sense, but energy itself doesn't die. It never ceases to exist. It's always here, and it's constantly around us, whether we see it and feel it or not. It's always there. And that brings me into like this really important part that I'm gonna geek out on for a second that is gonna help explain this in a really, really powerful way. And that relates to the particle theory. So there were studies done years ago where they took a particle and they split it in half, okay? And so when they split it in half, they now have these two particles of the exact same thing. They split it, right? Now what they did is they sent this one down a tube, like I forget how far, but crazy far one direction, and they sent this one down a tube super far the other direction. And then what they did is that they did some kind of effect to this particle. And the second, this like the millisecond that they affected this one, this particle way over here responded the exact same way. It responded as though it had just had the test done to it, even though there was so much distance between the two. And this like fascinated people because they were like, wait a minute, how is that possible? We didn't even touch this particle over here. And yet, because energy is connected, they both had the same reaction. They both felt the same impact or the same result. And so we can look at this in our own life of how, you know, I talk about a lot of times, I talked about it in this last video that I'll share right here about Neville Goddard. One of the things he talks about is acting as if. So acting as if you already have what you want, and then it's naturally going to attract to you. And that's really based on this exact particle theory. So if you're acting as if a change has happened in your life, even if it hasn't, but you're acting that way, it's naturally going to actually cause the corresponding action and reaction to show up in your life. So it might not happen in that exact millisecond, but it's going to bring about the energetic shift to call in and align with the things that match your energy. So when you change your energy, you raise your vibration, you shift out of old beliefs or limitations, and you step into a future version of yourself. When you make that energetic change, you are now matching and connecting immediately with other particles, other pieces of energy that are on that level, which is why you can see how when you make a change, sometimes these things show up so fast. Like I've had clients who, you know, they're wanting to call in these new things in their life, but they're still stuck in old stories or confidence problems like self-esteem issues or insecurities. And the second they make the decision to work with me, like the next day, this huge thing comes in with more money, or this new promotion, or this big opportunity for investments that was not there before. But it's because in that moment, they have created a shift to their energy. They have risen up or stepped up into a new level, and the universe, that energy flow, matches and starts to call in things that match that vibration. So it can really happen very quickly when you're open to it and when you're receptive and when you make those changes. So if we think of the quantum field, we think of this field of energy where everything already exists and it's all about just aligning with it, then the number one thing you do is you start to shift your energy right now in the present moment as if you already have the things that you want, and then you're going to become a magnet for the matching and corresponding outcomes or results, right? So comment down below if you have any questions about this. I'm also going to link another video I have all about the quantum field. It looks like this one. I talk about the butterfly effect more and how these things impact and ripple out to each other. But it really comes down to the fact that right now, in this very moment, you are connected to every possible outcome. You're connected to everything in the universe. Now, whether you're attracting negative things and struggles, or whether you're attracting positive things and like beautiful abundance and dreams, is all based on the energy that you're currently aligned in and that you're currently showing up in. So this is why it's so important. I talk about this a lot, but it's gonna change or help, hopefully it'll click, is like when you're focused on your past, when you're living from your old traumas or your anxieties or your old stories, when you're in that place, that's the energy and that's the frequency that you're vibrating on. That's the story and that's the reality that you are living in at that time. You're still living in the past, you're still living in the struggles. So when you're in that place, you're a split of this other particle, right? You're a split of that energy. So you're going to notice you're kind of attracting other negative things or more struggles, or you feel like, oh, it's just like I keep getting knocked when I'm down. And I know when I was going through like my personal spiritual awakening, that's what I felt like, because, you know, I lost my brother and then I just was like getting by, really struggling, just starting to make some progress, a tiny bit forward. And then I was sexually assaulted. And then I was like, oh, now I'm hit back down, and attracted more of that. And then actually this is where these really negative feedback loops can happen, and these really negative patterns where, because I was in the energy of this kind of defeat, you know, this struggle, this really disempowered place, and because I was so focused on the negative, the toxic masculine, and the things that were going on in my life, like the patterns of who I attracted, then I actually attracted even more of them. And so I went halfway around the world to Sri Lanka and started attracting like some really negative situations there, and had a boss for a while who was like extremely possessive and trying to cross the line, super creepy. And then I went to India, and then I had a sexual harassment from my yoga teacher there. And then I went somewhere else and something else happened. And I was like, why do I keep attracting these things? But it's because in my energy field, that was what my energy was vibrating on. And that was the reality I believed was possible. Comment it down below. I see whatever reality I believe is possible. I see whatever reality I believe is possible. I create whatever reality I believe is possible. That's even better, because you are a conscious creator. So you're creating your reality every single moment. So in that time, I was creating a reality that just constantly reflected more negative, toxic, masculine energy into my life, because the story and the trauma, the pain, the heaviness I was carrying at that time was that the masculine was really toxic, that there weren't any good guys out there, that I would be used and disrespected and not treated very well. And so because that was in my energy field and that was the reality I believed in, that's what I continued to attract, right? So maybe I was over here and I was just calling in more experiences to match that energy. This is why this inner healing work is so powerful. This is why I talk about it so much in terms of really focusing on shifting and healing your past, because as long as you're carrying those things, you will continue to attract different things that match it and that continue to stir that and keep you in that place. But when you start to do the healing and you start to make those shifts, even if it's a little bit at a time, and you start to see, hey, you know what? Maybe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe things can get better. Maybe a really great thing could happen to me today and change my life, right? When you're open to those new possibilities and you're shifting your energy higher and higher in each day, then you start to attract and call those in, which then reinforces your beliefs of what's possible and allows you to create more and more of it. And so eventually it becomes this beautiful, beautiful, that's not a beautiful drawing at all, but a beautiful, beautiful upward spiral where things start to get better. So therefore you feel better, you're perceiving better, you're seeing better things showing up for you, which then you attract more better things, which then reaffirms, wait, I do have this power and I am making changes, I am seeing changes, I'm feeling better. And then you just keep moving and building upwards. So really using this video, hopefully, to see that the power lies within you. It all lies within you, and you have the energy. You're connected to the energy right now to have a totally different reality than the one you're currently living in. But in order to get there, we need to do that clearing work first, releasing, making space, letting go of the attachment to who you think you are. And believe me, I used to be so incredibly attached to my story and to my own limitations. I believed in my limitations so strongly that I kept them for a really, really long time. And it wasn't until I started to believe in a new possibility more than my limitations that I was able to create a new reality. One of my favorite quotes is that, believe in your dreams more than your limitations. Something like that. Believe in your dreams more than in your limitations. Because as long as you're believing in your limitations, you're going to continue to see them. You're going to continue to focus on them and attract more. So start believing in your dreams, do the deep healing work to clear this stuff out and align with them. And you can learn more about how I did that, the exact 3-step process, by watching my free mindset training, which is linked down below and it's in the comments. And this is going to help you really see the exact steps I took in my own life over the last 8 years of doing this deep healing and releasing work, so that I could clear out and start to manifest and create the life of my dreams. And I've condensed this into a 3-step process that has now helped hundreds of other people as well. And I hope it can help you. So make sure you check that out after this video if you want to learn more and if you're ready to really create a massive change in your life. So that is a quick summary of law of attraction in the quantum field. So the biggest takeaway before I end this video is just to remember that you are a conscious creator. You are literally moving particles of energy right now. You are fully an energetic body. And what you want to do in order to start to attract what you want is keep working on raising your frequency or connecting your energy to that of what you want. So acting as if, man, I can't talk today. Acting as if, aligning, really getting into the state of openness to the possibilities, focusing more on the empowering story than the disempowering story, clearing out what you believe to be true so that you can start to create the reality. Focus on things that match the reality you wish to create. Focus on things that match the reality that you wish to create, and you will start to create it. You will start to attract it. So it all starts with you. It all starts right now. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so that you're the first to be notified when I upload a new video. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching.